That was strange. Who do I have? I had to restart. It came up, it popped up, it took me offline, and it says that there was a copyright. It detected a copyright audio or something, which there was no noise but me talking, so I don't know what it heard. Serena, are you back with us, darling? And whoever else the third person was? No, it was me. It was mine. I mean, how can it be, if there's nothing going on, how can it do that? That was weird. Serena, are you with us, darling? Nina, are you able to message Serena Worker and see, let her know what's going on? Please, ma'am. I'm going to go ahead and get started since it's 7 after, and see if I can get this in before we have any more issues. So tonight's book is called The Perfect Gentleman, and there's that sexy arm candy cover. Look at this. Look at that ink. Yes. Be still my heart. Delaney, you picked an awesome cover, sister. All righty. I know. All righty. Prologue. There you are. Sorry about that, Serena. YouTube shut me down, said there was a audio, or they detected an audio copyright infringement or something. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. And all I was doing was talking about what part of Australia you were from. Are you like mid-Australia? Prologue. Emma. Okay. I'll wait just a minute. East Coast. Okay. So you're on the Brisbane, Sydney side of things. One of my moderators, Jody Bell, she's from the western part, the coast somewhere. And I know she's 12 hours ahead of us. So you're 8 hours ahead of us. All right. A few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start without Delaney here, another minute or so. Oh, by the way, I brought a toy with me tonight. I just got that, and I just got it delivered today. I haven't even tried it out. It vibrates from both ends. It's not charged enough. So we shall see. Okay. Just another minute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start, and hopefully Delaney can figure out and join in with us. I don't want to wait too late, but she'll catch up. Okay, prologue. Emma. Monday, May 7th, Dear Journal, I witnessed a murder. For the second time in my existence, I watched as the last breath of life was stolen from someone's lungs. This time was different from the first, though. This time, the woman is still alive. Her heart still beats. The only thing holding it together is the very weapon that sliced it open to begin with: love. It was all so gradual, she didn't even realize she was dying. The toxic words and deadly rage were like poison streaming through her veins. She still speaks, sings, laughs, but that's not her. It's nothing more than an empty shell of who she used to be, dressed in her clothing, wearing her smile. She's gone, but no one knows it. I do. I miss her every single day. Good night, E. I fully get it. So I apologize, Delaney. We're still trying to figure out what's up with that. So, Chapter 1, Emma, Tuesday, April 10th. I can't fucking stand that sound. Do you really have to make so much noise when you laugh? The memory of Bastion's voice rings loud in my head, like an album stuck on repeat. When I need a break from it all, when I just can't pretend anymore, an oversized tub and bubbles are my therapy. Sometimes I light candles and pour a glass of wine while I just sit, finding solace in the darkness. It's quiet here. The water is my fortress. The water is my fortress. I sink down into its depths, letting it wrap me in the security of its warmth. You're overreacting. You sound like a crazy person right now. My mind replays the scene over and over, flashing back and forth between his words and the look on his face. Sometimes I think the conversation, the one I can't stop thinking about, is what started our downfall. The scent of sweet cashmere washes over the worries of the day and drowns out the static in my head. Voices that try to convince me I'm worthless, crazy, lost. The little girl that used to dance around her room using a baton as a microphone as she pretended to be Madonna disappeared a long time ago. The confident young woman that graduated summa cum laude with a bachelor's degree in business hides behind baggy sweatshirts and messy buns, and all that's left of the energetic girlfriend that used to find joy in making beauty out of everyday yard work and laughing at her own jokes is a perfectly fabricated smile that lets the world know everything is okay, even when it isn't. Why did the whale cross the ocean? It was a simple joke meant to make my boyfriend smile after a long day. He looked across the dinner table, over the top of his still full plate of chicken parmesan, and his eyes met mine, lifeless and dull. He wasn't amused. All I wanted was to make him smile. To get to the other tide. The words had barely left my lips when I started laughing, childlike and uncontrollable. Maybe it was the tension rolling off his shoulders, or maybe it was the fact that Bastion hadn't spoken 3 words to me since he walked through the door. But I needed to laugh. I needed to escape the negativity, if just for a second. I laughed so hard my sides started to burn and my eyes started to water. I had to set my fork down on the freshly polished surface of the solid wood dining table to keep from hurting myself. The laughter spilled from my mouth without hesitation, and then it happened. I snorted. The moment I did, I knew it was a mistake. His blue eyes narrowed and he glared at me. I can't fucking stand that sound, he said. The laughter turned to tears as he slammed his silverware down, nearly cracking the ceramic plate. I didn't mean to cry. It just came out, like my body was mourning its ability to laugh. That's when he told me I was overreacting, acting crazy, that he didn't mean it the way I was making it seem. That conversation took place 2 years ago. I haven't laughed since. Not out loud anyway. Not like that. So on days when the silence is deafening, I come here to my bubble-filled haven and I tune it all out. I search for the woman I used to be, wondering if she's still in there somewhere or if she got trapped in the quicksand. I wonder if she fought for so long to get out that it finally just consumed her. And now there's nothing left, just the quicksand. Alex. Chase, one of the senior associates in my law firm, peeps his head through the crack in the door of my office. A slight tug at my earbuds, and the Spanish-speaking voice on the Rosetta Stone fades into the distance. "Hey, man, you coming to Devin's bachelor party this weekend, right?" he asked. Fuck. The bachelor party? Somewhere between going over the latest deal prospectus and creating a routine for my new self-defense class, I forgot all about this weekend. However, blonde hair, blue eyed, bulkier than the average man Chase is not one to let it slip through the cracks. I can think of a million other things I'd rather do, such as finally unpacking the stack of boxes that have been piled in one corner of my living room since I moved here over a year ago. That would be me, and several things I do all day. On firing up the oven for the first time ever, breaking the takeout routine. Knowing Chase, he'd show up at my place with a full crew and a couple of strippers if I said no. "I'll be there," I agree. He grins and taps his palm against the steel door frame in appreciation, then disappears just as quickly as he came. At 29 years old, he's 5 years younger than me and way more excited about pussy than I am. Not that I haven't had my opportunities over the past year, but I choose to stick with a glass of Macallan, a bottle of lotion, and a tumbler for now. "Una mulher?" I say to my screen of my MacBook as I look at the image of a pretty blonde in a blue turtleneck. The woman reminds me of Heidi. Everything reminds me of Heidi. The 863 miles I put between our bodies doesn't make a difference if I can't get her out of my mind. Okay, Nina. The 863 miles I put between our bodies doesn't make a bit of difference if I can't get her out of my head. I wonder what the Spanish phrase for "my girlfriend left me for my best friend" is. Okay, so technically she wasn't my girlfriend. We were just two adults who did great things together naked. And she didn't leave me. I let her go, let the best man or best friend win, so to speak. It was a simple case of miscommunication at its finest. If Nick had known the woman that I was fucking was the same woman he was falling in love with, our story would have been much different and would have had a much different ending. Unfortunately, Nick and I didn't really exchange relationship secrets on a regular basis. I knew he had met a woman and he knew I was fucking one. That's about as far as it went until the day I walked into his office and found her there, ass propped against his desk while his hand ran up her thigh. Things pretty much went downhill from there. Now, here I am starting over, avoiding sex, women, and anything related to feelings like they were the plague. The laptop clicks as I pull the screen down and look out the floor to ceiling windows anywhere but at the blonde on my computer monitor. In some ways, the Miami skyline reminds me of my New Orleans home. It comes alive at night, bouncing colorful reflections of light off the bay. I run my fingers across the framed black and white images of Bourbon Street, the St. Louis Cathedral, and the Superdome. I've been gone for over a year, but I miss it. I miss home. I miss her. I can't focus on work right now. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of my head, and there's only one place I know I can do that. Sweat drips from my brow and stings my eyes. I don't bother to wipe it away. I just keep pounding the bag in front of me. My hair is soaking wet, and I've been feeling the aching burn in my biceps for the last half hour. Adrenaline keeps me going. It courses through my veins like a raging river, pushing me, driving me. This is my haven. This is my escape. In here, I am free. Nothing exists outside of me and the 100-pound Everlast bag. Here, I don't have to run. I keep my feet firmly planted as I lay blow after blow, releasing all the day's frustrations. Every time my fist makes contact, a piece of me goes with it. Pieces I've been running from for over a year. Classes haven't started yet, so I blast the music on the overhead speaker as loud as I can to drown out the voices. The voice of my father telling me I let him down. The voice of Heidi telling me I wasn't worthy of her heart. The voice of society telling me I need to get back out there and try again. Fuck trying. Every morning I wake up, get dressed, straighten my tie, and present myself to the world. To them, I'm the man with the perfect job and a great loft in an upscale neighborhood. I'm the strong, silent guy who teaches kickboxing classes at a gym in the same neighborhood. To the world, I have my shit together. On the inside, I'm falling apart. Chapter 2, Alex. If he wants to go public, stock exchanges are going to require him to become a C Corp. I cock my head to the side as I loosen my tie, knowing it's not exactly the silk fabric that has me feeling like I'm suffocating. This is the third phone call in 4 hours from my PA regarding Titan Industries' decision to start raising capital through the sale of shares. Well, that's the price you pay when you want to go on an open market, darling. I hear her anxiety through the rattle in her tone. She simply, oh, wait a minute. Well, that's the price you pay when you want to go on an open market, darling. I hear her anxiety through the rattle in her tone. She's simply relaying messages, and I have no real reason to take my frustrations out on her. I close my eyes and roll my shoulders in an attempt to relax before I continue. If he doesn't agree with the disclosure requirements, tell him to contact the SEC. Look, I need to go. Take tomorrow off. I'll handle Titan. I tell her, hearing an immediate sigh of relief on the other end. Yes, sir, she replies, and I immediately feel like an ass. I click the red circles and set my cell phone face down on the tiny square table in front of me. No more distractions for the moment. The scent of a freshly ground French roast fills the air of the busy coffee shop. Couples and coworkers share tables all around me. Conversations buzz in my ear, but I tune them out to nothing more than the background noise. I'm in my usual corner seat near the window where I can collect my thoughts uninterrupted. I don't come here for the coffee. Most of the time, I don't even finish my cup. I come here for the atmosphere. I come here to people watch. I come here because it reminds me there's life outside of boardrooms and boxing rings. Venti non-fat vanilla latte, the barista calls out into the crowd of laptop-bearing hipsters. I watch as she calls out a second time and waits for the owner to collect their beverage. Who the hell orders a coffee without a name on it? Red t-shirt, black cropped leggings, and gray Converse. Platinum blonde ponytail and an ass to put all other asses to shame. Damn, if it wasn't for the blonde hair, I'd think she was talking about mine. That's who. Non-fat Latte smiles at the barista as she takes her cup from the counter and scans the cafe for an empty table. Sorry, love, they're all full. She lifts her chin in resolve, inhales a deep breath, and starts toward the door. There's something about her that pulls me in, and I can't seem to look away. Something that goes beyond her outward beauty. Something in the way she seems to embrace the fact that there are no vacant tables. Something about the way she almost seems to see it as a challenge, as if the world is daring her to find another way to enjoy her moment of solitude, and she's silently whispering, "Bring it on." I have to meet her. I need to know more about her. Impulse takes over, and I rush to her side just before she reaches the door. There, I say, giving a nod to the door I left behind, the table I left behind. I'm leaving. It's all yours. Not that I want to leave. Not now. I'd much rather sit and have coffee with this breathtaking stranger, but breathtaking strangers and coffee aren't an option for me. So I flash her a grin and raise my cup as some sort of coffee drinker's salute. Lame. Her golden brown eyes meet mine. The contact is brief, but it sends an electric current straight through my veins. Her eyes dart to the floor. Thank you, she says. Jesus, her voice is the most hypnotizing soft soprano I've ever heard. Lord, I can't. If I did soprano, it's going to sound like a mouse. I'd kill to hear echoes of that voice singing my name while I make her body quiver. For fuck's sake, Alex, get a grip. It has to be all the reminders of Heidi that has me so worked up. I swallow hard and force myself to remember my manners. My pleasure. She responds with a smile. It's delicate and poised and rehearsed, but not in a rude or sarcastic way. Um, more like in a practiced way, like she's been faking it for years. Why? Who does she wear the mask for? Before I have, there she is. Thank you. Who does she wear the mask for? Before I have any more time to psychoanalyze a woman I've only just met, she turns and walks away, and just like that, our moment is over. Outside, I dip my hand into the pocket of my charcoal gray suit pants to grab my car keys and realize I don't feel my phone. Shit. I left it at the table, at her table. I throw my head back, questioning the heavens, and sigh. Now I've got to walk in there and look like one of two men: the guy who left his cell phone as a ploy to talk to a beautiful woman, or the guy who left his cell phone because he can't seem to keep his shit together in front of a beautiful woman. Either way, I'm a douche. I turned to catch a glimpse through the window just to see if she took the table I abandoned or offered it to someone else. And there she is, one eyebrow cocked in amusement, holding my phone against the glass. I chuckle and she shrugs. Here goes nothing. Your wife called. She's leaving you for the pool guy, she says flatly as she casually sips her non fat latte. Oh, now she's got jokes. Her shift in demeanor throws me off for a moment, but I catch up pretty quickly. I hang my head and decide to play along. Damn it, that's the third one this year. I'll take light-hearted banter over nervous smiles all day long. Maybe you should stop buying houses with pools, she says, almost apologetically, over the white plastic lid of her cup. Her bottom lip rests on the wide rim. Her mouth forms a sexy O as she softly blows into the tiny hole in the lid to cool the liquid before taking another sip. The entire presentation is positively sensual, and I can't take my eyes off it. My brain has her immediately on her knees, those same lips parted, gently blowing against the tip of my cock, right before her tongue snakes out for a taste. The room suddenly begins to shrink. The background noise fades away, and all that's left is the two of us. In a matter of minutes, this woman has managed to mesmerize me completely. She looks up at me beneath long lashes, waiting for a response. He's British? Hi, Lucas. Come join the fun. I will try a British accent. I am not any good at it. Nina can tell you it pretty much sucks because it's a blend of everything across the country of Britain plus a few other places that don't even speak English. Okay. The room suddenly begins to shrink. The background noise fades away, and all that's left is the two of us. In a matter of minutes, this woman has managed to mesmerize me completely. She looks up at me beneath long lashes, waiting for a response.
Or I could just learn to clean them. I could just learn to clean them myself, I say with a chuckle.
I have to laugh. It's the one thing keeping me from looking like a total creep right now. Jesus, what is happening to me? I don't do accents very well unless it's Southern. Pip pip cheerio. But yeah, I can throw my voice, but I can't do accents very well. She places her cup on the table and starts to remove the lid. There's a creamy froth on the surface, and I have no doubt the moment she takes another sip, it will leave its mark on her lip. She'll probably lick it off, and I will come undone. And I've just played the entire scene out in my filthy, twisted mind as if it were actually happening, like a fucking psycho. Aw, a do-it-yourselfer. She almost sings with a mischievous glint in her eye. A woman's dream. She's flirting. She's fucking flirting. I'm zero point 0.5 seconds from slamming her on top of this table and making a scene none of these people will ever forget. Time to go, Alex. I reach for my phone just as she reaches out to hand it to me. My hand lands on top of hers and her eyes fall to our connection. Her skin is so soft, so delicate. I bet her touch feels like heaven. Fuck me. This is insane. I don't even know this woman. Okay, good. We're gonna make him Southern. He's from Georgia, honey. Here in the United States, not over in the cold country over there. Um, I slip my hand from hers and glance at my phone screen before stuffing it in my pocket. There's nothing there, but I would need an excuse to leave now. Needy clients, I gotta go. Thank you, though. My words are choppy, rushed. Her smile fades, and I instantly regret them, hoping she hasn't taken offense. See ya, I add, knowing I probably never will. See ya, she says, waggling her fingers as she dips her delicious mouth into the milky froth. I walk away before I see anything more because this woman is a flame and I am a spellbound moth. And we all know the fate of the moth. Emma. The minute the handsome stranger walks out the door, my phone rings as if Bastion has a Guidar app installed on my home screen, letting him know there was a penis within 5 feet of me. Hey, baby, he says when I answer. It's a romantic gesture, but there's nothing endearing about behind the term. It's a right of possession, proof of ownership. I think carefully before I respond. If I just say hello, he'll assume I'm irritated he called. If I sound too sweet, he'll presume I'm hiding something. No, I have to play this exactly right to avoid an argument. That's too much thinking, Emma. Don't take too long. Hi, honey, I say sweetly, but not excessively so. Bastion thinks I'm running errands for his car dealership. If he knew I'd stopped for coffee, I'd probably be lectured on how time is money, babe. I just spent 2 hours at the DMV dropping off paperwork and picking up tags. Surely I earned a cup of coffee. How was the DMV? You get everything done? Now, in any normal relationship, a girl could happily answer with a, "Yes, I stopped to grab a cup of coffee. Want me to bring you back anything?" But ours isn't a normal relationship, and the thought of him knowing I've spent $4 on a cup of coffee terrifies me because it's $4 he worked for and I didn't. It's why I never let him write my name on the cup. Let them write my name on the cup, and why I only order his favorite. On the off chance he finds me here, I can always say it's for him. Answer carefully. Everything went great. I'll be back to the dealership in a few. Do you need anything? Some coffee would be great. He knows. Of course he knows. I carelessly used his debit card, and I'm dating a man who checks his bank account out more than a frat boy checks Tinder. I force a smile, hoping he can hear it in my voice. I thought you might, and I'm already on it, I lie. That's my girl, he says, and I'm not sure if he's actually proud of me or if the compliment is a cleverly veiled reprimand. Shit. I drank half of it while talking to the handsome stranger. Now to pray I have enough change in my car for another cup of coffee. It's only 7 blocks back to the dealership from the cafe, and the entire drive there, my mind is locked on brown eyes and unruly curls. I've never as much as thought about speaking to another man in the 5 years I've been with Bastion. I've caused him enough pain. I'd never intentionally do any more damage than has already been done. Just the thought of it makes my stomach drop. I owe him more than I can ever repay, yet here I was flirting with a stranger, wishing he hadn't had to leave, hoping he didn't have someone waiting on him, someone loving him. I know that's selfish, since I do have someone waiting on me. It's not fair for me to hope. This man made me feel wanted. He made me feel special, like I was the only woman in the cafe. He actually laughed at me. Wait a minute. He's from New Orleans and grew up in New Orleans, so he is Southern. He's not British. Don't mess with my mind. It's bad enough as it is. Ooh, what's his name? Am I going to need this tonight? Just checking. I got it charging just in case. Nope, don't know him. I lived in Alabama for 10 years and I know some of the models, but I don't know that one. I don't even have to close my eyes to remember every detail of him. The way his charcoal pants hugged his muscular thighs and the loosened knot of his matching tie like he'd just had a long morning at the office. I imagine how lucky the woman who'd get to help him relax after a day like that would be. The moment he stopped me in the doorway, his voice wrapped around me like smooth velvet, and his eyes swept me away to make believe land where people meet in coffee shops and fall in love. From his seductive 5 o'clock shadow to the smell of his cologne, he screamed sex. And without explanation or reason, I ache for him, all of him. Oh, fine. Nina's got to get her boy toy in her head so she'll know what to play with. Chapter 3, Alex. Chase thought it would be funny to blindfold Devin and bring him to the raunchiest strip club in the city. Then, when we're all pissed drunk on watered down, overpriced alcohol, he'd have the black SUV for hire cart us off to our actual destination, downtown. No one else had a better plan, so here we are, front and center at Lipstick, watching a woman my grandmother's age fumble with the as a woman my grandmother's age fumbles with the strap on her American flag bikini as she prepares to climb on top of the bar and give us what we came here for. Aside from the tubby old man on the other side of the counter, we're the only 4 people in the place. Intuition tells me the woman is his wife. Who the fuck puts their wife on a stripper stage? But I'm a lawyer, not a judge, so to each his own. The club is dark except for the dim red and orange track lighting that illuminates the makeshift stage in front of us. Tubby watches as carefully as he takes our drink order. I doubt we fit the description of his regular clientele, and I'm sure he's wondering what the hell we're doing here. The dancer saunters across the narrow wooden bar top to a silver pole. She's thin, probably too thin, with shoulder-length brown hair and layers of heavy blue eyeshadow painted across her eyelids. Her 4-inch heels glide across the bar as she rolls her hips to the sound of Warrant's Cherry pie. Chase brings his thumb and index finger to the corners of his mouth and lets out a loud whistle. Malone, another attorney from our firm, reaches behind Devin's head and unties his blindfold. The moment Devin's eyes reach tonight's entertainment, he visibly swallows his laughter. I'm sure he's thinking exactly what I am right now. What the fuck have I gotten myself into? The guys continue with their catcalls, slipping Abraham Lincoln's in the tiny string of her bikini as she spins over and shakes her moneymaker in our faces. I order another drink just as the top comes off, revealing a perfectly sculpted set of fake tits. Chase throws his head back and knocks down another scotch, shouting an obnoxious, "Hell yeah, baby!" And I'm actually embarrassed for the poor woman. She has no idea they're mocking her. Malone scoots his bar stool aside and stands, waving the dancer in his direction, and Devin is speechless. He's probably thinking this is a hell of a way to spend his last night as a single man. I know I would be. I'm about to lean over to Chase and tell him, "Job well done," when a group of women come stumbling through the door. They're all wearing sparkly tiaras and beauty queen sashes over superhero t-shirts. Apparently, this place has been marked as the last stop before the knot on some fucked up version of the alcoholic yip. Captain America, otherwise known as Bridesmaid Bitch, according to her sash, slides onto the stool next to me. "Looks like we got here just in time," she slurs as the woman slips off her bikini bottoms to reveal a flesh-colored thong that covers just enough to keep the vomit from coming all the way up my throat. I knock back another sip of Dewar's. It goes down easy, but not nearly as smooth as McAllen. "Lucky you." Fuck. I tilt the glass to peering, causing the ice cubes to fall forward. I'm empty. "Am I?" the girl asks. The sound of her voice brings my attention from the tumbler to her fingers currently tracing the collar of my V-neck tee. For a moment, I forgot she was next to me. She stops at the bottom of the V and bites her bottom lip. Subtle.
"Are you what?"
I do my best to mask the disinterest in my tone. The woman walks 2 fingers from my collar down my chest, stopping just above my abs. "Getting lucky," she coos. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is why I stay single. I take her hand in mine and place it gently on her lap. "Depends on what you call lucky." Her immediate pout tells me she isn't happy with my reaction. "I'm not the guy you're looking for, sweetheart. I'm not capable of a one-night stand." Since I left Heidi, my brain, heart, and cock all seem to be hardwired together, and one simply won't function without the other two. Which is why I'm completely fucked up over why I haven't been able to stop thinking about a girl who ordered a non-fat latte since the minute I left the coffee shop. I haven't responded that way to a woman in almost 2 years. I don't even know her name. What I do know is that she's unlike anyone I've ever known. I know she stirs these feelings up inside of me that no one ever has before, including Heidi. Her laugh is addicting, and her smile could stop 1,000 angry soldiers in their tracks. This woman, this stranger, awakened a sleeping giant, and something in my gut tells me I won't rest again until she's mine. Behind me, the sounds of Chase yelling, "Chug, chug, chug," to God knows who drown out the music of the sound system. I move to turn to see who his latest victim is, but the persistent redhead grabs my head, locking her newly manicured hot pink nails in my curls. "I think you're exactly what I'm looking for," she says. Before I get a chance to respond, her mouth is on mine, forcing my lips apart with her tongue. She gives my hair a tug and nips at my bottom lip as she pulls away and smiles like she just won an Oscar. She swipes a thumb across my mouth, then yells over my shoulder to her friends, "Pay up, bitches! I win!" What the fuck? A collective groan follows as she stands and slaps my palm. I can always tell when it gets dark outside because my tablet goes down. What the fuck? A collective groan follows as she stands and slaps her palm against the bar. $10 each. That's 50 hookers. She spots my obvious confusion and laughs. Party game, babe. Challenge number 3. Kiss the hottest guy in the room. She scans my friends, arches her brow at the other girls, then throws me a wink. And I win. I can't help but laugh. Okay, so maybe she didn't want to fuck, but she did call me the hottest guy in the room. I'll take that as a win. The song ends and American Bikini climbs off the bar. I wave her over with a nod of my head and slip her a 20. It's probably the biggest tip she's seen all week. Hold a goddamn minute, Chase yells, slamming his Corona on the bar and splashing liquid everywhere. How the fuck is he the hottest guy in the room? Devin and Malone just shake their heads and finish off their drinks. I walk over and place a firm hand on his shoulder. Try not to trip on the ego on your way out the door, I say with a shrug. Then we tip the bartender and head outside to our ride. Emma. I press start on the dishwasher and grab my Nikes while I wait for Kylie to pick me up for yoga. Aside from my bubble baths, Thursday morning yoga is one of the few things I find myself looking forward to. Bastion is at work, so it doesn't take away from our time together. And on Thursdays, he meets with lenders, so I'm not needed at the dealership for errands. The house is quiet except for the faint hum of the dishwasher echoing from the kitchen. I tighten the laces on my tennis shoes, then lean back in the overstuffed chair. When I lean my head against the feather-filled cushion and close my eyes, I still see his gorgeous smile as if he's standing right in front of me. And I can just imagine my fingers wrapped up in those adorable curls. I jump at the memory, checking my surrounding as if I'd just been caught doing something I shouldn't. It's been 3 days since I met the coffee shop stranger, and I can still smell him. Clean, crisp, and entirely masculine. At night, I wake myself from dreams of him, praying I haven't given anything away in my sleep. But every time I close my eyes, he's there, haunting me, making me think things I have no business thinking. Gatsby prances across the room, the sound of his paws against the Spanish tile announcing his presence. Hey, big guy. I greet the miniature Yorkie as he hops up on the chair beside me. Have a good nap? He stretches his little body, rolling over, lifting his legs, and invited me to rub his belly. I smile and obey his request. Our moment is interrupted when the doorbell rings, sending him into an immediate yapping fit. I shake my head and let Kylie in. Gatsby sees her familiar face and quietly resumes his position on the chair. All bark and no bite, that one. He talks a big game, but he's totally harmless. Gatsby was a gift from Bastion for my 30th birthday. I spent the whole day struggling with the fact that I had hit the dreaded milestone while still childless. I knew going into the relationship that Bastion didn't want children, so I did my best not to let my disappointment show. But he caught on and surprised me. Gatsby crept his way into my heart the moment I saw him, and we've been best buds since. He fills a void I fear will always be a part of me. He also reminds me of the kind, caring man I know Bastion can be, the man he once was, before I destroyed him. Hey, Gats, Kylie says, giving his head a rub. Sure reminds me of one of those inspiration pictures you find on Pinterest. They then hang on your fridge to keep you from eating too much ice cream. Her body is perfectly toned for her petite frame, and her ass is enough to stop traffic. Her long brown hair is piled on top of her head in a perfect bun, and she looks like she just stepped off of a Lululemon ad in her leggings and sports bra. I have a love-hate relationship with going to yoga class with this woman. Ready, Em? I glance down at my loose-fitting tank and tight-fitting yoga pants, straighten my ponytail, and decide this is as good as it's going to get. I click the dial on the Scentsy and scan the living area one final time to make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Always ready, I reply with a grin and a wink. Later, Gats. No parties. The door clicks behind me, but I turn the knob to double check. For the next hour and a half, it's just me, the mat, and positive thoughts. Kylie's roommate, Santana, meets us at the studio. She lays her mat on the opposite side of me, leaving me sandwiched between her and Kylie. I have no business hanging out with women like this. I'm definitely the ugly friend in the relationship. Santana is supermodel tall with long legs. Her olive skin and jet black hair accent her bright red full lips and perfect white smile. Her look is every bit as exotic as her name, and her balls to the wall personality keeps men lining up at her door. The instructor stands up straight and looks around the room. All right, let's go through this chaturanga again. I don't do yoga, so I don't know what these words are. I've met Alfie. Let's see. Pull your weight forward, bend at the elbows, lift your chest, exhale. Downward facing dog. I feel the burn in the back of my thighs all the way up my spine. Fucking hell, Emma. How are you so flexible? Santana blurts out, sending an instant blush to my cheeks. Kylie tells me all the time I need to learn to take a compliment. The thing is, I don't get them often, and when I do, I don't feel I deserve them. Bastion is one lucky guy. Oh, come on, I reply, feeling my skin heat at her insinuation. I roll my eyes and step forward, placing my feet between my hands, bringing my nose to my knees so I don't have to face her. We all know I'm the lucky one. The taste of my words burns my tongue on their way out. Over the years, I've trained myself to speak nothing but kindness of the man I share a home with. I'd never disrespect him or call negative attention to our relationship. It's always been instinctual, easy, but this time feels different. This time it bothers me that I don't believe what I say. This time it's as if I'm waiting for a velvety voice carrying the most delicious accent I've ever heard to appear from the shadows and correct me. So much for positive thoughts. I swallow the lump in my throat and shake the feeling, forcing myself back into character. I turn to face her as I inhale and stretch my right leg over my head. Besides, look who's talking, Stretch McLean. Santana narrows her eyes at me before erupting in laughter. She stops long enough to speak. McLean is literally my last name, Ems. Well, yeah, I suppose she's got a point. All righty. Okay, I'll read the next Emma, and it's going to be about halfway through chapter 4, so I'm going to read that a little bit more since I got a late start. Chapter 4, Emma. My heart races when I see 9 missed calls from Bastion. I check the time, 11:05. He knows I have yoga from 9:30 to 11. I've been coming to class with Kylie and Santana for almost 7 months now. In that time, nothing about my routine has changed. I call him when I get home, which is always around 11:30. Something had to have happened. My mind hurriedly sorts through the card catalog of its memories, searching for something I may have overlooked. An appointment or an event. Nothing. I can't think of a single reason he'd be so impatient to get in touch with me on a Thursday morning. I call back. No answer. I call his office. He isn't in. Something is wrong. Bastion is a creature of habit, and this is coloring outside the lines for him. I use the white hand towel to wipe the sweat from my neck and shoulders, but it's just for show. I'm not hot at all. On the inside, I'm chilled to the bone. Hey, Gatsby, Mommy's home. I call out to the empty house as I punch the 4-digit code into the security pad on the wall. I slide my toes over the back of my heels, slipping my shoes off while I wait for tiny paws to pad across tiled floors. I check my phone again to see if Bastion hasn't texted me back yet. Nothing. This is completely out of character. I have missed calls from him in the past, and every time I call him back, he answers right away. I blame it on his overbearing need to know where I am and what I'm doing at all times. I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. Gatsby, I say, raising my voice an octave this time. Well, that's weird. He normally comes running right out to greet me. I scour the kitchen from floor to ceiling, making sure my eyes touch every inch of tile and sheetrock, then do the same to the remaining rooms in the house. Every time I call his name and he doesn't answer, it gets harder to breathe. My chest tightens as I look under the bed and find nothing there. Gatsby? My voice is frantic now while I run from room to room. I fight back tears and whisper a prayer when I open the sliding glass doors leading to the back patio. There's no way he could have gotten out, and if he did, he'd surely be lost. He's never left our yard. We live in the last house on the last street in a secluded neighborhood, nearly a half mile from anyone else and surrounded by trees. I don't know if he'd find his way back. What if he wandered off and someone took him? No. Please help me find him, I plead to the sky above. From inside the house, the sound of my ringtone bounces off the walls. I rush in, hoping I don't miss another one of Bastion's calls. Hello? I answer, trying to stay calm. He already makes me feel as though I'm incapable of doing anything without his supervision. The last thing I want is for him to think I can't even take care of a dog. You didn't answer my calls. I take a deep breath. I knew this was coming. Still, I'm never fully prepared for his anger, no matter how many times I've witnessed it. He never raises his voice. His jaw doesn't twitch. He doesn't have that vein that some men have that throbs in their foreheads. Bastion has the uncanny ability to remain perfectly calm through anger. His voice never wavers, and he never breaks eye contact. He controls it completely, and I don't know if that should impress me or scare me to death. I compose myself, planting my feet firmly on the ground and squaring my shoulders as if it will help me present my case. I'm sorry, my phone was in my locker at the studio. Is everything okay? One thing I have come to know is that less is more. If I give too much information or offer too detailed an explanation, he finds ways to twist my words or question me further. Everything's just fine. You should have answered him. It sounds like a warning, a threat. My voice catches in my throat, and I have to clear it to be able to reply. I never know what to say when he's like this, mostly because I'm always fearful of his response. I've heard this tone before. When I forget to pick up a suit from the dry cleaners or spend unnecessary money on a cup of coffee, things I am sometimes careless about. It's a carefully camouflaged form of chastisement. This time, there's something different laced within his warning, as if he's drawn a line and I've crossed it, so now I have to pay. What's he threatening? What is he trying to say? No, if he did something to my dog, if he opened this back door and let him free as a sort of punishment, Bastion knows what Gatsby means to me. He would never do that, would he? Anger and disbelief boils within me, rising in my belly and up to my chest, threatening to spill from my lips. I want to ask him what he means. I want to tell him he's being unfair. I remember my counseling sessions and keep it at bay, envisioning him as a child unaware of their actions. He may be an asshole at times, but he's not evil. He wouldn't have left an innocent dog outside on purpose. No way. Gadsby's around here somewhere. He's just hiding. That's all. I hope. Bastion, I say carefully, what did you do? Don't ask silly questions, Em. I got called away. I'll be home tomorrow. And just like that, the line goes silent, leaving me a sleepless wreck the rest of the night. Bada boom, bada bang! What you guys think? Whoop, whoop. Stay on my
to finish reading list. Yeah, baby. A little bit of gaslighting going on there, huh? Slow. Okay. Haha, go get it. It's free on KU. And how much is it to buy? $1.99, I think. I better shush my mouth in case I'm wrong. I just got it. It's book 4 in A Woman's Touch. $1.99. Thought so. Alrighty. So that's it for the week, ladies. Great job, Delaney. I will be finishing this. Yeah, Alfie's about 10 feet tall. I met him in Nashville last year. Got my pic made and everything with him. You can go up on go into the pictures on their Facebook page and see them. But all right, let's see what was going on. I went to a strip club in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. They were all youngins. Well, we actually went to 2. Alrighty. Teaser with the guy with the hand in his pants. I'll have to look it up. Alrighty. Great job. See, it didn't even need a British accent in there. Had nothing to do with, he could have been speaking Chinese for all that difference made. As long as his voice is a sexy tone, who cares? I mean, this is just absolutely a turn on for some women. Alrighty. Delaney, thank you, and come back anytime. I enjoyed it. It was great. Alrighty. I guess it's my bedtime. You ladies have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys later. Happy reading.